Compact Quickie. How many times have you heard a socialist screeching that capitalism requires infinite growth? And of course, since the planet only has a finite amount of resources, that can't go on forever. In 1972, the Club of Rome published The Limits to Growth, foreseeing a steadily increasing demand for material and predicting an abrupt worldwide economic collapse by the end of the century. Yeah, didn't happen. The thing is, socialists just don't understand economics. Big surprise, I know. Capitalism isn't about using more and more stuff. It's about increasing the utility for consumers. And if you think that means you need more physical resources, you not only lack imagination, you're not able to look around you. Just take these pocket supercomputers we all carry around with us. Compared to the Cray 1 supercomputer, which ran at 80 megahertz and could do 80 megaflops, a typical smartphone runs at over 2 gigahertz and can do almost 2 teraflops. It's something like 30,000 times as powerful as the Cray 1, with much more memory and storage capacity, doing things the Cray 1 could never dream of, including high-def video, running complex AI, real-time speech recognition, accessing vast amounts of data from all over the world, and communicating with anyone all over the planet, audio and video, in real time. But do you honestly think this thing uses more resources than the Cray 1, which took up a whole room and used 115 kilowatts of power? That's over 11,000 times as much as a smartphone. That is the perfect example of dematerialization. In economics, dematerialization simply means being able to generate a benefit for consumers with fewer resources. There's a sort of Kuznets curve going on here. When a society starts developing, people start using a lot more resources per capita. Then, as knowledge, technology, and infrastructure increases, at some point there's a tipping point, and each person ends up doing more while consuming less. Between 1977 and 2001, the amount of material required to meet the needs of all Americans fell from 1.18 trillion pounds to 1.08 trillion. Despite the population increasing by 55 million and with a vastly improved quality of life. Crop tonnage quadrupled even as farmland fell from 1.2 billion acres to 940 million. We have more steel, aluminum, and titanium despite consumption of those items dropping by 30%. And that trend has only increased in the decades since then. I mean, how many trees did the word processor save? Wow, I have over 5,000 albums in my music collection? Think of how much vinyl that would have taken. And this also applies to living standards, lifting people out of poverty with greater education, food, and sanitation. And this happens naturally without anyone having to push conservation efforts. Capitalism literally gives you more for less. How can you not love that deal?